To nemusel strihať jak dement. Perfekt. Dobre, takže toto je hotové. Hra je zmenená. A dúfam, že bude fungovať, no. Kde? Tu je. Ja neviem, či tam budem potrebovať notes, alebo nie. To je nejaké... Chvíľu ohluchnem, strašne to nahlas. Vydrž. To je nejaká ruská hra toto. Dobre, musím to okamžite stíšiť. Mi odpáli uši. No, takto by to mohlo byť. Dobre. A teraz Game Capture. A ideme na toto, no. Neviem, či to vôbec bude fungovať, to by ma zaujímalo. Ale jo, funguje. Ono to je v ruštine, naozaj. Ja chrápať mám dosť, jo. Vyspí sa. To do angličtiny. Full screen. Pane Bože. Ja to sa tiež stavím, aby ste zase Apple. Uvidíme, no. Neviem ešte. Visual Transitions. Čakaj, vypol sa mi Game Capture. After choices stop skipping. Audio volume, transition, speed of text, joystick. Podporuje joystick. Som zvedavý, no. Dobre, nastavenia to asi nemá žiadne, ale nevidím obraz. Máme to na monitor capture. Nasrať back. Jaká brutálna hudba. Start game. Attention, this game contains bad speech, rape and sexual scenes. Pane Bože. Bože, čo je toto za angličtinu? Your actions and decisions will change. Táto hudba je strašne nahlas. Tichšie. Tak. Your actions and decisions will change the story around you. To continue, press the left mouse button or the space bar. Don't forget to save the game from time to time. Jasné. Čakaj, ja si to dám ešte takto. Ja to vidím, môžeme ísť na to. 60th Kilometer. 60. kilometr. Autor of the idea programming Kirill Sherbakov. Painters Molybden Anakit. Chapter 1 On the Railroad. Ešte môžeš brať zvuk? Strašne to je prebustené, ty kokos. Takto. Je to úplne na minimum. No, to by bolo dobré. A to budú takéto screenshoty. It was late spring. Nature showed its vibrant colors and the days were getting sunnier and warmer. Excitement about the upcoming holidays and the vacations filled the air. Many were going to the sea, to their country houses, to their relatives, to have some rest from their daily routine. I haven't decided what I was going to do on my vacation. I had several options. I could go to my country house, save some money for the trip to the sea, or stay at home. But anyway, I didn't like to plan anything ahead because if anything went wrong, it could be disappointing. So angličtina bude challenging. Ooh. Was I living for today? Yeah, maybe. I liked that, and later it turned out that I was right because many of the things I didn't go as they planned that year. It was Sunday. Although it was a day off for many people, it was a working day for me. Ha! Like Dominic. I lived in a small town on the edge of the region and worked in Moscow, the capital of our country. I was going there by train, like many of the people nowadays. Even though it was far and I had to spend money and time for these trips, I still wanted to work in Moscow because the jobs there are better paid. No, jasné. Jak Bratislava versus rest of the Slovakia. I was sitting in the train on my way to work. It was a warm morning and the sun was shining brightly. Since it was a day off, there weren't too many people in the train. I didn't want to nap, so I was just looking outside through the dusty window, deep in my thoughts. There were forests, fields, roads and small country houses. Well, everything I remembered from all the times I traveled by this road. Čo to budú normálne len screenshoty všetko. Suddenly the engine went quiet. Hudbička. But the train continued gliding smoothly and more slowly. To je dobrá pesnička toto. Then I saw some kind of pink fog which suddenly appeared in the air and was slowly coming down to the ground. That was weird. What was that? A woman sitting next to me. Nikto tu není v tom vlaku. Looked at the window and mumbled something, and the man with mustache was still reading his newspaper without paying attention to anything else. The sound of wheels was very quiet. The train almost stopped. Unscheduled stops might happen sometimes here, if they have to allow the freight train to pass or something like that. Meanwhile, the fog continued to thicken. Toto je normálne storytelling, ty vole. I felt anxious because I had no idea what was going on. Started to think maybe there was a fire somewhere. Fire? It's not like it. Maybe the accident at some factory, which led to the leakage of something into the air. Chemical weapons? Train stopped. Whoops, skipol som to. Evgeny Konstantinovič. I'm going to be late because of them again. Sure. In situations like this, like that, people usually blame the drivers, but I don't understand why people blame them for train delays. How is it their fault? They can't change anything if a dispatcher tells them to stop. I guess I was going to be late for work. Of course, I would tell them that it wasn't my fault, but I doubted that I would be able to prove it. Aha, toto mám teraz možnosti, čo môžeme robiť. Look at the window, pozri sa na okno, go to the engineer panel. Maybe that pink fog was the reason why our train stopped. The only thing that was clear was that something actually happened. I was thinking about a similar situation which happened a few years ago. Back then the train stopped too. It turned out that there was an accident at the power station and there was no power. They were fixing it for the whole day. Prečo je ten text tak strašne rozťahaný? Úplne ma to rozčuluje. So all the trains were slowly dragged by the locomotives. It was hard to get home that day. The weather was hot, there were a lot of nervous and angry people around, drivers tired from working. That happened in May too, if I'm not mistaken. In about 10 minutes, a man came to the panel and pressed the button to get in contact with the driver. Hello? How long are we going to stay here? The man got angry, went to the tambour, and smoked a cigarette. Takže to je taká komiksovka. Fú. We were in the first train car, and I saw a man who walked out of the driver's cabin and looked at the roof of the train. Suddenly he grasped at his throat like he was choking and fell to the ground. Do prdele. What the hell? Kaž, jak funguje sejovanie? Okay. What the hell? Nejaká žena? The woman saw him too and stood up saying, "What's happened with him? We have to help him." Oh no. Was it because of the pink fog? I decided to share my thoughts with the woman. See that pink fog behind the window? It looks weird. What if something happened and it's something poisonous? Okay. Attention, some choices you make can be fatal. Please save a game from time to time. Autosave function added. You can load autosaves from special tab in the load screen. What should we do then? I don't know, I have no idea. I'll go there and try to help him. No to nie. Toto prvé, ešte sa otrávim. I stepped away from them, walking to the other end of the car and started to think. A bit of fog got inside the train, but it was not enough to do any harm. It just got dissolved in the air. Suddenly, I heard the door open, connecting the driver car to ours. From there, a man came out. He looks very frightened. Apparently he was the driver or assistant driver. Nikolai, did you see that? What happened with him? I think it's because of the fog. It's poisonous. Don't get out of the cars. The guy in headphones woke up and looked around confused. The man who smoked in the tambour came back to the car. He saw the man in the driver's uniform. Evgeny Konstantinovich. So what? How long are we going to wait here? As long as we will have to. We have to check on Sergei. He went outside to see if anything happened with the train's pantograph and fell down to the ground. Normálne som vysmedol. Vydrž. We have to check on Sergei. Well, maybe someone can go out and check on him. Oh! A tuto sa už nedá savenúť, keď si v tomto choice. Fú, musíš predtým. Dobre, OK. I don't think we should risk it. Keep silent. Pull out your phone. I don't think we should risk it. It's too strange. Do you see things like this happen every day? We have to contact other people and try to understand what's going on. I already tried to call the dispatcher, but it didn't work. There's no connection. Damn, it looks like something serious happened, and we're stuck here for a while. Well, let's wait. We have no other options anyway. The most important thing is not to panic. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm the driver of this electric train. My name is Nikolai Vasilievich. You can call me Nikolai. Okay, Nikolai. Problém je, že ja mám môj ksicht cez ksicht tohto typka. I'm Evgeny Konstantinovich. Oleg. I was younger than other people. Could you please say what we're going to stay here for a while over the loudspeaker? Maybe we should get all the people to the first cars. Sadly, I can't. We have no electricity. Oh no. Okay, since you're the driver, you're going to be in charge here. Maybe we should go and check on him. What if we can help him somehow? Huh? I'm not going out there for sure. If you want that, you can go, but I'll just watch you from here. No, we shouldn't risk it, although. Who can hold their breath for a long time? I remember that I could do it pretty good because I used to swim often. Volunteer, okay. I think I can. Nikolai, I'll open the door for you. Just in case. Do you know how to open it? Sure. Even though it was very easy, most people had no idea how to do that. There were special openings on the doors of the trains, but people just tried to move the doors apart using the gap between them. Čakaj, niečo skúsim. Aha, takže to nepodporuje toto. OK. Can you walk around the cars and tell the people not to go outside until we find out what the hell is going on here? And I think we also have to get all the people to the first cars of the trains. Okay, I'll do it. You owe me a cognac when all this shit is done. Again, Konstantinovich went away and Nikolai turned to the rest of the people of the car. We're going to open the door. The folk will get inside. The door to the tambour has to be closed, and you must not open it until we get back. Let's go. I'll hold my breath too and stay in the tambour. I hope that a small amount of this substance or whatever thing this isn't deadly. If it was, we would already be dead. He waved at the window. Small flow of the pink fog infiltrated through the cracks into the car. It got mixed with the air, becoming clear. We went to the tambour. Save. Dobrý nápad. Good luck to us. Are you ready? Nikolai closed the door that lead from the tambour to the car. Get ready to quickly press buttons. Počkaj, tu môžem musieť normálne hrať. Ja som už bol pripravený na storytelling. OK. Quickly. E a Q, ty vole. OK. Quickly press the buttons that are going to appear on your screen. Čo, Kriste, pane, to nie je normálne. Ja nemám také reflexy. I didn't feel like the fog did something bad to my body, so I assume we were right. It was only poisonous if you breathe in it. Okay. Although, who knew? Maybe I would feel its effect later. I swiftly walked over to the man lying on the ground, turned his body over, and looked at his face. I checked his pulse. Nothing. He was dead. I quickly ran to the train and got inside with the help of Nikolai, who opened the door of the tambour. Then I ran to the train car, hearing the sound of the door closing. To je normálne kniha ilustrovaná. I tried to catch my breath. What happened? How is he? He's dead. What? What will happen to us then? I didn't know how to reply to this question. Nikolai was mumbling something, leaning on the wall. I thought that they probably were good friends, or maybe just colleagues who worked together every day. I looked at the other people in the car and saw worry and the fear of the unknown on their faces. Soon, Evgeny Konstantinovich came back with a few people from the other cars. Commander, I did what you asked. I got all the people to the first 3 cars, but we have a problem. The 8th car is filled with the fog. We can't go further. I guess the windows were open, so this thing got inside. Some windows in the other cars were open too, but the people quickly closed them, just in time. So that means that the 8th car is full of dead people. Yes, I think so. And who knows what's in the other 2. Maybe someone's alive in there. Well, we have to wait then. Right. Can't even do anything. Leaving the train would mean death to us. We're locked in. I try to calm down. Sit down to your seat and wait. Go to the other car. Poďme sa pozrieť do druhého káru. I couldn't just sit and wait, so I decided to look around and see what was going on the other cars. Savieme. I opened the door of the tambour and quickly went to the other car. There were many people in that car, but they were all silent and scared. Was I looking like this too? I was walking near the bench when I heard a whisper. Hey man! I looked around and saw a strange looking man. It was hard to say how old he was. Maybe 30 or maybe even 40. He was balding and had a big nose, which was not proportional to his face. In addition, he was thin and his clothes were too large for him. Come, have a seat. I sat down in front of him. What did he want? I guess I can trust you. Should I take it as a compliment? What do you want? My name is Konstantin. Další. He held out his hand. I shook it and introduced myself. Do you have any idea about what's going on? His voice was trembling. He was nervous. No, I don't know anything. Nobody knows. No, they know. This is an experiment. What experiment? You know, experiments on human beings. They were conducted in different countries, but not so many people knows about them. I heard about such experiments, for example, when people pretended to be prisoners and guards in jail. Joe. They managed to get us into the isolated room, do you understand that? They want to see what we are going to do and how we are going to survive. Who's they? Scientists, soldiers, of course. I don't think they'll let us go that easy. They are going to watch us. This sounds crazy. Actually, this can be true. Of course. I think that some passengers are actually their spies. Hope you are not one of them. Yeah. So what are you going to do? For now, We need to find out which of the experimenters are here in the electric train. Then we make them to stop the experiment. I understand, I'll try to look around and tell if you... I'm not going to waste my time on such nonsense. Okay. Pôjdeme s ním. Good luck. I stood up and went to my train car. I returned to my seat. It was hard to sit and wait for the situation to end. Was it actually going to end? Another man stepped into the car. He was quite old, but in good shape, tall, and he was trying to catch his breath. Alexander, who is in charge here? Does anyone know what's going on here? I came from the last car. I saw how a couple of people walked out of the train and just suffocated. Poisonous gas, man. Nobody knows what the hell is happening here. The phones aren't working and we can't leave the stupid train. Maybe I can help you. The man who came with Evgeny Konstantinovich said it quietly and somehow mysteriously. My name is Alex Petrovich. The people in the car introduced themselves. I gathered the people from the last car to the third one. There was no one alive in the last one, just corpses. I saw a couple of people in the uniform in the 8th car. I guess they were policemen accompanying the train. They are dead too. We have to tell people not to open the windows or we will all die too. Yes. How did you conduct them through the cars? Instead of replying, Alexander Petrovich reached into his bag and took out a couple of gas masks from it. To normálne metro toto. I knew a bit about them. These were insulated ones, and I also noticed that there were some regenerative cartridges, čo prosím, in the bag. Wow, this is how I conducted them. I've got 3 gas masks. He looked like a strict and serious person to me. He may be a soldier, I thought. That's awesome. This means that we can go out and try to find someone. Great idea. I agree, we can scout out the situation. Sitting here forever is not an option. Who wants to go? We need 3 people. There is a rural store nearby. It's the closest place where we can find people. I guess that man was actually a soldier, and he knew the place where our train had stopped well. He looked very confident, even though he clearly didn't try to look like that on purpose. I want to go. Wait here. I want to go. Even though I was scared, my curiosity got better of me. Plus, just sitting there and doing nothing was even worse. Presne tak. Good. Who else? So, you're going to leave and we should just die here. I'm coming with you. Okay. Now that's 3 of us. I'll stay here to be in charge and try to calm the people down. Take the bags with you just in case. When you'll be on your way back, get us something to eat. I don't think we have many supplies and we're going to stay here for a while. I don't think you need any instructions. If you volunteered to come with me, you probably know how to use a gas mask. Not really. We have about an hour for the whole trip. We'll go fast, speaking only when it's needed. We won't take the regenerative cartridges with us. Bro, I'm sure there is enough oxygen in the gas mask for us. If we won't find help there, we have to search for supplies. Let's take more food. Everybody agreed. Ta-da. Takáto komiksovka, to som ešte nehral. Normálne, nikdy v živote. Get ready to quickly press buttons. I'm ready. We put the gas mask on and went to the tambour, which was like a corridor between the safe zone and the pink fog area ahead of us. Nikolai wished us luck and went back to the car, and we opened the doors and jumped off the train. Savneme to. While Alexander Petrovich was closing the doors, I was looking around and there was a beautiful birch grove, a field, some country houses on the horizon. Whoa. Let's go. We started our journey. I was scared but excited. I felt so many things at once. So many thoughts swirled in my head. I didn't know if I was going to ever see my family and relatives again. I I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if we were going to survive. I turned around and looked at our new home. 10 cars of green with yellow stripe, shining in the sun, surrounded by the pink fog and carrying thousands of people every day. Electric train ED2T. The end of the chapter 1. Wow. Je to dobré, no, je to náročné na čítanie. Saviem tam. Docela zaujímavý koncept. Tam aj to mešovanie tých klávesov. To je interesting. Chapter 2. The first outing. Dear passengers, our electric train departs the Moscow Khanchevskaya station. That's how my morning started. Everything changed in just a couple of hours. My mind still refused to completely accept it. It was like I was sleeping, and all this was just a bad dream, a weird and scary one. Our train didn't make it to the point of destination that day, and people's plans didn't come true. We were walking away from the electric train to the direction of the birch grove. The nature changed its colors. Everything was touched by pink shadow. The fog wasn't that heavy as it seemed through the windows of the train. The visibility was quite good, but what scared me was that everything was completely silent. The birds weren't singing, the trees weren't rustling in the wind. There was no sounds of cars or rumble of trains. The only things I could hear was the beat of my heart and the sound of our footsteps. By the way, where did you get these gas masks? Shut up. Why do you care? If you want to chat so much, you shouldn't have stayed in the car. Calm down, friend. That was just a question. Alexander looked at the watch and shook his head. Let's move faster. I think we'll reach the store in about 15 minutes. If we're going to walk that slow, we won't have enough oxygen to get the dement. No prečo sme si nezobrali tie regeneratívne kartridže? Then we'll have to stay there. I hope they close the windows and the doors in time. We put on pace. We were walking on a footpath, which looked like people walked here often. Strašne low-res textúry majú. Peter má na Steam už nový Stream Deck. Paráda. Dúfam, že si to už nastavil všetko. Then we saw a pond surrounded by beautiful willows. They were so magnificent that even the pink fog couldn't ruin this view. Careful! In a few meters, I saw what caught his attention. There was a corpse of a bird. Ooh. So the fog was killing the birds too. Or not just only birds, but all living creatures. Kick the corpse of the bird, bypass it. I kicked the corpse of a bird and it bounced into the bushes. Alexander noticed that. A mne ten kamlík stále nechodí? No, majú ho na Alze, normálne si ho môžeš objednať. I kicked the corpse. Wow, toto je dobrý screenshot. I wanted to stop there and dive into the sinister beauty of nature, shrouded in pink fog, even for just a minute. Don't fall behind the group, stop for a while. Dáme stop for a while, možno niečo nájdem. The colors were unusual. From one side everything was familiar to me, but the shades and outlines were different. I felt like I was on a different planet, or in a different world. Suddenly I saw a silhouette that flashed in the woods. It looked like a silhouette of a man. Whoa, to je nejaká gorila. What could it be? Was someone hiding there? It didn't look like an animal. Call Alexander. Go to the mysterious silhouette. I turned to the left, but the next moment I heard someone's voice. What are you doing? I think I saw someone. There's no one there. It's just your imagination. Let's go. We have to hurry. We moved forward, leaving the mysterious silhouette behind. Dobrý príbeh to je. We reached the pond. Ten je rúžavý, aha. It looked horrible. The water became pink, just like the fog. Dead fish were swimming on the surface of the pond, and the bubbles were rising from the water. Evgeny glanced at the pond, started to walk closer to Alexander. It was good that we couldn't smell anything because of the gas mask, or else it would have been terrible. So, Susan, how far is it? Damn it, one more word and I'll drown you in that shit. Checking if it's poisonous or not at the same time. I guess he really was nervous, even though he tried to look confident about it. I wanted to talk too. Maybe it was because of the fear, but I was keeping myself under control. Ooh, my thoughts were absolutely chaotic. I couldn't think properly. I even pinched myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. We slowly bypassed the pond, and soon we could see a road and a low building rising behind a small green field overgrown with grass. It looked like an ordinary store near the train station. I think I saw someone. Ooh. Tribotki. I wanted to say someone has to be inside the store, but then I remembered that we didn't have much air and had to speak only when it was necessary. I checked the time on my mobile phone. It was about 3 p.m. The time was running too fast. I thought that I hadn't eaten anything in hours, but I didn't even want to. I guess it was because of the nerves. I wanted to learn more about the people in our group. Alex Petrovich, he must be a soldier. At least he really looked like one. And he definitely had a gas mask in his bag for a reason. Okay, I should ask him later. It was like he kept some kind of secret. Evgeny Konstantinovich. That was easy. He was probably a factory worker on his way to work on the train, just like me. And he looked repulsive. He hadn't shaved in days. His hair was short and streaked with grey. Strong odor of alcohol was coming from him, but luckily the gas mask didn't allow us to smell it. Still, there was something good in him. He did his work while gathering the people in the first car, warning them about the danger. He also volunteered to go with us, even though I thought he did that because of a personal reason, thinking that we could go away and leave all the people in the train. Who knows? Maybe later I would get the opportunity to know these people better. We almost reached the point of our destination. My legs were tired because of that fast walking, and the smell of the gas mask was very annoying. We're almost there. Finally, we reached the store and a small area in front of it. A parking spot for the cars of the customers. The store wasn't that big. There were 2 cars near the store, and we saw a dead body lying on the ground in front of them. The man probably went out of his car when he saw the fog. His eyes were open. Alexander slowly walked to him and looked at his face. He's dead. Nice. We all focused our attention on the shop. There was no evidence of anyone being alive in there, but the windows and the doors were closed. It was a good sign. Okay, let's get inside, but quickly. Lest this damn thing couldn't get into the building. By this damn thing, he meant the fog. We came close to the door. Our leader opened it and swiftly walked inside. To je lepšie ako audioknihy normálne. Odpadnem. Ako príbeh dobrý, len troška tie screenshoty, keby boli viacej high resolution, ten text, keby sa troška zarovnal, UI troška, tak by to bolo cool. Hen také váhy sú top. To je... We followed him and closed the door behind us. But we were disappointed. We saw a couple of dead bodies on the floor and another one at the cash register. Probably the cashier. The pink fox somehow got there too. Evgeny cursed and Alexandra slowly walked over to the cash register. Okay, gentlemen, our plans have changed. No one is alive here. We have about half of an hour left. Grab the bags. Take all the food that doesn't need cooking, bread, canned goods, snacks, beverages. And do it fast. I'll check the utility room in case if anyone was left there. Okay, well, let's go with it. He nodded and Alexander went out through the door. We pulled the bags out of our pockets and started to fill them with food. Where you were going on that train today? Shut up, get busy. What's wrong with you, man? He went to the other shelf, took something from it, and he showed it to me. Look, flashlights. They might be useful. Agree. Could you please retrieve some of them and search for batteries? Hey, relax. I'm older than you, but it's the end of the world, so stop being so official. After saying this, Evgeny Konstantinovich snorted again. I didn't reply. Prachy. His bag was already full, so he threw it in the floor next to me and went to the cash register. It was open. Ha ha, great. Funny, in any situation, even on the verge of life and death, without any idea of what was going to happen next, people were thinking about money. Maybe it was going to end. It wasn't going to end, and we were never going to live as we lived before. Maybe we were never going to need money, but I guess he was hoping for the best, hoping that it was temporary. Maybe his mind, just like mine, wasn't able to realize what was going on. Stop him, ask for your part, ignore him. Ignore him. 3 tečky. Savieme to. I filled my bag and started to put soda and juices into Eugenie's bag. He saw that, came over to me and said cheerfully, Hey, don't forget the most important thing. Alcohol. Started to take beer now from the shelves and put it to the bag. Of course, the most important thing. I also saw a pretty expensive bottle of wine on the shelf. Take a bottle of wine. Určite bude otrávené, necháme to tam. Leave the wine on the shelf. A možno sa stane to, že ten týpek si to zobere a otrávi sa on miesto mňa. I didn't take the bottle of wine. Soon all the bags were full. We just had to wait for our leader and return to the train. Evgeny walked over to the dead body lying on the floor and started to search for something useful in his pockets. I was surprised. He was doing that with enthusiasm, almost like a scavenger who eats someone's lifeless body. He found money and mobile phone. Having an extra is great. Put it back, sneaky thief. To je mentalita. Maybe we'll actually need it. Toto. After that, Evgeny Konstantinovich noticed that there was another door near the one where Alexander Petrovich went out. Opened the door and walked inside. It was dark. Well. What do we have here? Evgeny Konstantinovich turned the flashlight on, searching for anything interesting in the room, but found nothing. Okay, there's nothing in here. We returned back to the hall of the store. Suddenly the door opened and Alexander Petrovich walked in. There are no one in the utility rooms. The pink fog is there too. I don't understand how it got inside the building. We filled the bags. Can we go now? Yes. I looked at his watch. Damn it, we're risking not to make it to the electric train in time. Grab the bags and let's go. Fast and no talking. He snatched up his bag and went to the door. He took the rest of the bags and followed him. Evgeny Konstantinovich looked downcast, and what surprised me, he was silent. It was a big blow to his self-esteem, I thought. We went out of the shop and he headed to the electric train. We were out of breath because the bags were heavy and we didn't have much oxygen left in the cartridges. We were returning back home and I was thinking about the situation. Were we the only people left here? Why were there no survivors in the store? How did the dangerous fog get there? What happened to the people in the rest of the world? Soon we reached the pond. Oh. Alexander Petrovich slowed down his steps, pondering something. Then took a small stick and walked closer to the water. What are you doing? Our leader leaned over to the pond and slowly put one of the end of the stick into the water. In a few seconds he took the stick out of the water, examined it, and then showed it to us. The wet stick looked like it's some kind of acid had corroded. Not too much, but it was enough for us to understand that. See this? You better not fall into this water. If you see any pullers, you should have avoided them. The fog does something to the water. I guess you may say that it's poisoning. To our luck, there were no puddles and it wasn't raining. Keď bude pršať, to bude prúser. Alex Petrovich turned around and threw the stick into the pond. Then he went to the footpath, continuing his way to the railroad, and we followed him. If the fog did that to water, the rain would be deadly dangerous to us too. Could it corrode the roof of the electric train? Ooh, if the answer was yes, then we weren't going to survive for too long. Hey, Commander, my hands are itching. And not just my hands, my whole body. Is that normal? It was weird. I didn't notice that myself. The same was happening to me. My skin, except my head, covered by the gas mask, was itching. That was a bad sign. Hurry up! Alex Petrovich put on the pace, so we were almost running. The handles of the heavy bags were rubbing our hands, leaving red marks on them, but we couldn't stop even for a minute. I didn't feel any pain because of the fear, but I felt itching. Would we get back in time? And if so, what did the fog do to us? Were we going to be okay? So many questions I didn't know the answer to. We almost reached the grove and saw the electric train, our new home. Somehow it now seemed even bigger than before, like something more than just a clumsy, decrepit, and dusty thing. The eye windows of the gas mask fogged up enough that I could barely see anything. Still, the only thing I wanted to look at was the door of the train, where we wanted to get so desperately. It was hard. It was hard to breathe. We were running low on air, while our hearts were beating faster. My friends were walking next to me. We just had to make it. We were almost there. I heard a crunch under my feet. I wasn't even looking at the ground. When walking all this time, I looked down and saw that I had stepped on a dead bird. I didn't even feel disgusted. I lost all my fears, but there was only one that was left. The fear of that. We were in the balance. I saw Nikolai's face in the train's window. He was looking at us, struggling with the heavy bags, running low on oxygen in our regenerator cartridges. One step another. We were almost there. Come on, you can do this. Press the buttons you see on the screen. Okay. Failed. Shit. Prosím. Som akože zomrel? OK. Ty kokos, tak toto je brutálna smrť. Press the buttons you see on the screen. Fú. Toto bude brutálna hra. Alex Petrovich and Evgeny Konstantinovich were almost suffocated, but kept on walking, without any thoughts. The doors of the train opened and I saw Nikolai. He was covering his nose with his hand, so the fog wouldn't get into his lungs. Just a few more steps and everything would be over. The most difficult part was to climb the mount. I felt dizzy and couldn't think straight. I saw Nikolai's hand, grabbed it, and hauled myself up into the train. Then I threw the bags into the tambour and ran to the train car, taking off the gas mask and throwing it into the next seat. Clean air, finally. I never felt so happy before, I think. I heard that the sound of closing doors and saw my friends running into the car too, taking their gas masks off and trying to catch their breath. I slowly calmed down and looked around. I noticed that people were looking at us with hope. Not really, no. No, ten save je brutálny, ako som tam nezvládol jednu klávesovú sekvenciu a rip, no. Another minute passed before we could finally speak. Nikolai and another man, whose name I didn't know, brought our bags from the tambour. They were quite heavy. So, how are you? Is everything okay? I think so. That's great. I see you brought us a lot of food. Here, have some water. He gave me a bottle of mineral water, and one of those we brought back from the store. You did great. Saved us from the starvation. Damn, man. That was impressive. You ran away. You ran away ahead of Evgeny and me. I didn't even notice that I was running to the train first, so I just mumbled something because I didn't know what to reply. Alexander started to tell Nikolai about our trip. We got to the store. There were no survivors. The doors and windows were closed. We have no idea how the fog got inside. In addition, we found out that the fog makes the water poisonous. You better not touch it. He paused, looking at his hands. The fog seems to damage our skin too, if you are staying outside for too long. Every person in the car was listening to him, and I saw how hope in their eyes turning into fear and despair. I examined my hands. The skin was still red and itchy. I sat down on the edge of the seat. People were discussing something, but I didn't care. I wasn't worried about anything. The most important thing was that we were alive, at least for now. And I didn't want to think about the future. Soon, evening was going to fall upon us, followed by night. I felt dizzy. My eyes began to darken, and I couldn't think straight. I heard someone talking next to me. The next moment, I gave up to the tiredness and fell asleep. The mind-blowing. Lepšia kniha. Normálne. End of chapter 2. Sejeme to tu a na dnes stačí. Ale je to pecka. Nejaký príbeh brutálny. Akorát tam moc čítania, ja furt kašlem, no. Aj, nejak to doriešime. OK, na dnes stačí. Majte sa.